Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. CeeChronicles is my name, and on this channel I post mostly fragrance reviews, especially those from the Middle East. Now, if that style of content is something that you like, please do consider subscribing and joining the family. Now, if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for the continued support. Also, check out my second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted. On that channel, I post Western fragrances as well as vlogs. So that's my life outside fragrance reviews there. I'm going to leave the link of that channel in the description, as well as put a little sticker there. Now, welcome to today's video. I was checking out the seasons and I did notice that the US is getting into spring or already in spring, right? The Google actually said it's the 20th of March, and I do have a significant audience from the United States, and I thought to group some Middle Eastern spring summer appropriate fragrances for you as recommendations, and these are from the Middle East. Now, the very first one is going to be Vibrant, a Vert Delight. Guys, if you love that Balder Freak DNA, this fragrance is going to be inspired by it, obviously. I did do a full review of it, and I did clue you up on that. But the second thing I want to say, and this is not sponsored, is try to get your hands on this if you like that DNA as fast as possible, because I did come here about 2 years ago and I spoke about Vibrant Orange in Neroli. And the number of comments I get on that video is people failing to find that fragrance. So I don't know whether Paris Corner releases a cluster of fragrances and then they just slow down on making the fragrances, or it's discontinued, or the distribution is, some type of way. So if you love that Balder Freak DNA, go grab this. This is an ideal spring scent, especially, and crossing over, of course, into summer. You're going to get light florals in here, light presentation of the jasmine, an airy violet, a crisp lemon and bergamot weighing in there, to give this a crispy accord. Very nice, gentle floral there, nothing too pushy. Comes to light in the heat, as well as in that spring season. So number one is going to be Vibrant Vert Delight from Paris Corner's Amia edition. Now, the second fragrance, guys, is from Fragrance World, and I find that this is one of the challenging fragrances on the market. I mean, for Fragrance World to clone it, I think they're onto like a series of cloning some of the Killian fragrances. This is a complex fragrance, even in its original formulation, like in its original presentation. Icy Roses is inspired by Roses on Ice, and there's one season that this fragrance would be able to do flawlessly, it's going to be spring. It is built around a very prominent cucumber. Now, if you thought cucumber doesn't have a smell, if you purchase this fragrance, you're going to get that cucumber smell. Use like the green peel of the cucumber, or when you just cut into a fresh cucumber there and you just put it to your nose. So it's going to give you a lot of aquaticness there because of that watery accord that you get from the cucumber. And then it's got a juniper, but the juniper in here, as well as the rose, is not doing enough. It's not really weighing in as crispy as I would have wanted it to. But I think, for the spring season, summer season, that sort of thing, this fragrance would be appropriate. If you wore this, say, in the cold, or in freezing temperature, you might not be able to smell this. So it's one of those fragrances, guys, or DNAs that are pretty weird. I mean, to know it is to buy it and to smell it. Otherwise, explaining about this is just pretty weird. So Icy Roses, inspired by Roses on Ice from Fragrance World, is the second one on the lineup. And then we have this could be tacky to somebody, but I think this is a gorgeous bottle. Only thing was the surprise, when I sprayed this fragrance. It's not what I expected. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was definitely not expecting a green, aromatic, lemony, limey, crispy, fresh, clean type of fragrance. Spicy there, yes, but very much on the soury side, like a very lemony, almost gin-like scent. I wasn't expecting that. But why I'm here to recommend, guys, Amia is, of course, because of that crispness and because of that light floral accord. I think this would be perfect in the heat, guys, and it endures. The one thing that Lattafa got right on this one is the lasting power. This is a freshie that will last you till the next wash. So yeah, Emir is here, but do not expect or whatever mental shortcut like I had. I was not expecting a fresh fragrance in this for some reason. I don't know why, but it does lean fresh and it does fit into this category because it is a very summer forward, freshy type of fragrance, though lasting. Amir from the house of Lattafa is the third recommendation on this lineup. Fourth on the lineup, guys, is Adeeb Flora. Do not sleep on this fragrance, guys. It just happens to be one of those fragrances that I just forget to put out a full review of, but it's a fragrance that has macerated to something way, way better than it was. It's a fragrance that actually made me declutter my So Candid because I did find similarities, but I found that this one has weight. It is a concoction or a combination of a fruity floral, especially the white florals there. Some of you are going to be able to extract the florals, then you are able to extract the fruitiness. But the common denominator in this is going to be the fact that it is sweet. Okay, so it does have like a sweet accord to it there. It's aromatic as well as spicy. Great spring summer scent there. I think the aromaticness in this leans closer to lavender. So it's going to be a combo of like an aromatic lavender mixing with that jasmine, and something in here is going to feel like berries or something like that. So yeah, definitely a fragrance that I feel is going to light up, guys, in spring. It's from the house of Asdaaf and it's Adeeb Flora. And while we are at the Asdaaf, I may as well mention the Princess of Arabia. I forgot to include it here, but if you like the kind of the My Way type of DNA, the L'Imperatrice kind of DNA, you're gonna love that as well. So that's another recommendation I'm gonna drop as an honorable mention. I do have the fragrance in my collection, but I did not remember to add it to the collection. But I think it would be a great spring and summer fragrance as well. So that is another recommendation that I thought to drop here. Now we're gonna jump to number 6 because on number 4 I mentioned an honorable mention, all right, which is the Asdaaf Princess of Arabia. So because I did mention that, so that we don't lose each other, this is going to be number 6. And now that I think of it, I should have brought the Shahaf women as well. Okay, so this is Shahaf for men. There is a Shahaf women. The two Shahaf for men and Shahaf for women I own, right? I just happen to forget the Shahaf for women, but I own the two. And I think these two are the odd ones in the Shahaf range, because that Shahaf range, set precedence for having a lot of fragrances that are very polarizing, thick there and rich. Those rich textured type of fragrances that are warm and very spicy. And this Shahaf for men and Shahaf for women are kind of like doing a completely different thing. And I think it is for that reason that they did not really maybe get hyped by, say, reviewers and stuff, because they're just pretty mainstream there and very out of the range, if you will. But I feel, they're great, both of them, the men's one and the women one. This one is for the men and there is the women one. I just feel both of them are unisex. They're safe enough for either gender to wear. Both of them are summer forward there. Both of them are fruity florals there. They both have that praline wrap up that give them like a creamy thing that makes them, very different there from just being linear freshies or fruity florals, that type of that style of fragrances. So yeah, as another recommendation, guys, I'm going to drop the Shahaf for men as well as recommend the Shahaf for women as great summer and spring fragrances. The next one, guys, is going to be again from Paris Corner, and this one is Cedrat Essence. Now, I have a tough time with this fragrance, but I thought to add it to this list for the gents out there. I often have males saying you don't talk enough about male fragrances. It's not that I don't talk enough about male fragrances, guys, but it's just that most of the Middle Eastern fragrances are marketed unisex, and it's the right thing to do. I mean, who's to say a fragrance must be, gender specific? I just feel if you like it, you like it, you wear it, you wear it. When I started reviewing, I was also like into, this is very feminine, or this is just for women and this is just for men. And then I realized, no, if I'm to bring fragrances here, I'm going to tell you to what extent, of course, like For instance, this one I'm going to say gives me 80% masculine vibes. But at the end of the day, you wear what you want to wear. The reason why this Droit essence is here, guys, is it does have that citric, fresh, clean chord there. It's going to remind you of like a laundry type of scent there in the air. There's going to be citruses that are forward. There's a jasmine there. It comes into the mix, and there's the fruits there as well. But the fruits are not as prominent. They come as a wrap up of like a sour tone because of that citrusy forward nature that you're going to get in this fragrance. And it is that sourness that aligns mostly with masculine fragrances. So if you love that style of DNA, you're going to love this, especially in the heat and in the springtime. So Droit essence, guys, inspired by Mansera's Droit Boise, is also on this lineup as a recommendation for you guys. Now, next up is Viva Viola from the House of Ashmal. I do not see a lot of people talk about this fragrance. I have tried to put it in the limelight, and this is not as a paid promotion or anything. I thought to just bring it back, guys, here as a recommendation in case you kind of see this fragrance from time to time and you wonder what it's all about. This bottle does not have any correlation to the VIP 212. I'm just noticing that it's got this kind of, like a roundish thing where it kind of looks like that Carolina Herrera VIP bottle. No, it's got nothing to do with that. This actually feels more in line with like a twist on Montparis, on YSL's Montparis. This is like a very vibrant strawberry forward fragrance there that's very effervescent. But it does have the florals, okay? Very gentle florals in the background, but you're going to get a strawberry burst there. And then the florals will then rise after you get that vibrant strawberry burst in the first or second sprays or something like that. And then it turns into a clean, bright, white floral. So definitely one to consider if you're looking to add something that you would be able to wear easy in summer. This is Viva Viola from the House of Ashmal. Now, next up, guys, is Maya, and this is Natural Intense. This is a fragrance that when I reviewed, to me, it was just a fragrance I liked to offset, and then I noticed that a lot of you guys had like a lot of mixed comments in the comment section about how you felt about this fragrance. But having used a lot of Lattafas and spraying this for the first time, I was like, wow, I was not expecting that. Yes, it's blue. You're gonna get some wafts of like an aquaticness or like a blue tone fragrance way in the dry down, but it doesn't come across first off like an obvious blue scent. It gives you a burst of that fig, and then an almost like realistic unripened feel of a melon, and then it has like that water lily and a little bit of a greenish tone and stuff like that. So it takes one direction when you spray it, which has nothing in common with Acqua di Joie by Giorgio Armani for women, which it has been compared to. When you initially spray it for the first hour or two, you don't get that, and then it takes a twist towards that direction. So it does feel like their own rendition or a twist to that DNA, where to just outright say this is an Acqua di Joie clone, and somebody walks into the store, sprays this, they'll be like, because it does have that greenish prominent melon note and that fig note that gives it a twist, which takes it in one direction. And then after you've worn it 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in, as it dries down, you do get like wafts of that Acqua di Joie. I'm actually going to do a side-by-side comparison because I do have the Acqua di Joie by Giorgio Armani for women. So first of all, I was not getting that, and I did not recommend it as that in the full review. But after wearing it a couple of times, I did, get wafts of that, and then did see the likeness in that. So this is a great spring and summer scent, guys. One that you ought to try. If it starts off awful, it changes. Trust me on that. Okay, so this is Lattafa's Maya Natural Intense. I look at the bottle because I'm always tempted to say Intense Natural. I don't know why. Maya Natural Intense. And then the last two, guys, are easy. This, I'm not sure whether it's still being made by Lattafa or they've just simply discontinued it. Elite Just White. I think this is just an easy, dumb, rich type of fragrance. It gets better with time, but in terms of time frame, I'm going to say you're going to have to, give it a lot of time for it to mature. Mine has been in my collection for about 3 years now. So it has gotten the time to do what it's doing, but it still remains a citrusy forward type of fragrance, a very easy, rich, fresh, clean type of fragrance. So thought to recommend it, but I don't see it on so many websites. So this could be one that's been discontinued, maybe because it did not really take off, because even Googling it, I do not see a lot of reviews, you know, on Elite Just White. But if you're looking for an easy reach summer scent, crowd pleasing, unisex, aromatic, even with an underlying woody tone and a lemoniness that's a bit prominent, then you ought to try this one, guys. It's Elite Just White from the house of Lattafa. Now, last on the lineup is this fragrance. I'm not showing this fragrance some love. It's just one of those that's going to sit in my library because I did use it a while and then I just got tired of it. But it's one I think is easy to like as well. You know, it is built around patchouli. Then that patchouli mixes with the citruses and the florals, inspired, of course, by Coco Mademoiselle, something that's been said a lot. So I just hope I'm not sounding like a broken record right now. But it's here on this lineup as a recommendation, guys, from the house of Armaf Club De Nuit, women. Because of that, you know, light floral texture to it with a little bit of some citruses there, freshness there, a little bit of everything, gentle florals, great fragrance for the heat. And it's the last one, guys, on the lineup. So that's it, guys. Those are the recommendations I had for you for the spring and summer season. If you're going through that season and you were looking for easy reach Middle Eastern fragrances that are going to work in the heat without feeling Middle Eastern, that are going to be gentle florals, clean, fresh, you can purchase any one of these. The only one I'm going to say people are finding challenging is maybe this one, but I find it very wearable and very different from some of the offerings that we've had from Lattafa before. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we discuss more about fragrances. Let me know the ones that you intend to buy or the lineup that you intend to use in spring. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do turn on post notifications, guys, on both my channels. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Meanwhile, like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.